This artist, Krupinski, is an amazing artist. She's literally an award winner in shows nationally, internationally. And I've gotten to know her over the last couple of years, and she's a graphic designer by trade. She's taken that level of precise design ability and composition ability into her paintings. She's very precise. I know that, for instance, when she applies the purchase sticker on the apple, the reason she does that is because her fruit in some of these paintings or vegetables are usually large areas of color, and she says, I just needed the sticker to break up the color. So that's her reason for doing that. And she would tell you that she's not a realist painter. She's an abstract painter. It's all up to her. Everything is all about shapes and relationships of shapes in the composition.
Even her attention to detail in the framing process. I don't usually like talking about framing, but I'm really enjoying the decal edge. And that's like a torn edge on the outside of the watercolor paper. And a lot of artists will crop that in with the matting and things. And I'm sure she put a lot of thought into that. And I find that interesting. I think it actually adds to the composition instead of taking away from it. I really like how she's handled her reds. Reds are such a strong color and a strong emotional color in the painting. And I like the kind of an S shape that she's created to move the eye movement through the painting. And that's such a dominant color. She's handled it very beautiful. I like how it's in shadow, a cast shadow from the apple here. This is not as strong, but it brings you down to like the main focal point of the color in here. Even little subtle colors on the outside edge. Your eye does not go out of the painting. It just kind of flows very nicely through the piece. Even in the thread work, it's very well done.
Listening to Chris talk about how she composes her work, as Tom says, she does a lot of research into quilts particularly, or the other fabrics that she has behind it, but then she will set up a still life and then she'll move that apple, or she'll move those grapes, or she'll add another grape here, and she'll do that multiple times and take literally 100 or 200 different photographs of it with different lighting to determine how it is that she likes it and to arrive at a final composition. She will often, I've heard her say, she'll be working on a painting and she'll get most of the way through it and decide she doesn't like the directions it's going, start it completely over. Take a new sheet of paper, redraw the composition, start over again and say, oh, I don't want to change this element. So very methodical, very workman-like capacity. She's one of these painters who, for probably the last, since the early 1980s, has painted every day. She goes to the studio every day and puts time in on a painting. So, and that amount of workmanship and craftsmanship certainly comes across as effortless. I mean, you go to some shows and people stand around saying, well, that can't be a painting, that has to be a photograph. She must have traced that, or she must have printed that on a canvas, but it's all handwork, and it's just exquisite, and it's staggering as a watercolor artist to look at someone of this level and say, there are all great artists in this show, and there are those who are more great than that. And she's one of those. She's certainly an international master.